Poop. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are live. Hello, comrades, and welcome to another episode of Under Construction. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. Let me post that where it belongs. Link to the stream for folks in my Discord, in our Discord, the Iron Horseman Discord. You can check that out in the description of this video. And I will also get ready to post that link in the Trainz official Discord. I don't know why it's crazy to me that we're live right now. I'm just that, in space. Hopefully, a nice little game of not Tetris. Hey, Ryder. Hey, Dragon. Nice game of not Tetris will get me in the proper headspace to do Trainz route building. Today was an office day for me. Which is to say that I made my semi-monthly pilgrimage, or bi-monthly, or whatever, yeah, semi-monthly. It's like every 2 months. It's actually far less frequent than that, but I can talk about that later. There's a funny story attached to it. But what that means is I didn't sleep much last night for various reasons, and that was immediately compounded by the fact that I had to get up at 6 in the morning and get on a train, which really was not a bad thing because, you know, I was on a train. Yeah, I'm zonked. I had to go by the weed capital of, or whatever, weed mecca, or whatever the hell it's called, over by the pinball museum. Now I'm zonked. There was a cannabis billboard that said that. So I will never associate the word zonked with anything other than marijuana. So what are we doing is a good question. And I suppose I'll say it now, just to prime everyone. But it's going to be some scenery work, and I think maybe it's going to be primarily scenery work, because the rest of it is a little bit up in the air and frustrating. In between last episode and this episode, I did a little bit of mining off camera. And what I did was I finished clearing out all of the vestiges of the V2 AI, which is to say the second iteration, I think it was the second iteration, of the AI for Tolbrand. It may have actually been the third, but that's not important. What is important is I've been trying to do that to clear the way for Living Railroad. Living Railroad is still in its infancy, and I'm still learning a lot about it. To the point where my couple of days of adventure, where I did stream a bunch of it on our Discord server, was filled with no small part of frustration with Living Railroad and with Trainz in general, in some cases for reasons that I have yet to determine. Some of these things are still up in the air. I'm not sure why they are the way that they are. And I'll get to those sort of as they come up. But the biggest thing is those car spawners are not working properly. They're not working properly because schedule at trackmark is not working properly. Schedule at trackmark is not working properly for a reason that I cannot yet figure out. Damn it. We totally blew that one. We got nowhere close to breaking a high score. That's okay. Let's get into it. Let's talk about some things. Number one, you'll notice that it is not noon. This is because I have been messing around. Now, so one of the other things you'll notice, for example, is that there is an AI up here. Although I think this is a light engine that got confused and ran all the way out here, yeah. So this guy's heading back that way. There is the lion head turn is out here. I was switching the lion head turn, but I'm effectively testing the sort of the mixed driver surveyor. You know, going back and forth between driver and surveyor and sort of seeing what happens. And one of the things that I've learned is that it is best to restart all the rules when you do that. I don't know why these rules aren't started, actually. Um, but, yeah, so if I go into... And I deleted a couple of the rules. I deleted the quick drive rule. Hopefully that's not breaking anything. I deleted the quick drive rule because it kept resetting the time. But now if I go into drive session, it will just shift over to driving the session. And, we can go from there. Now, one of the things I need to do is pull these coal cars out of here. Not just because it's something to do, but also because it is... I need to redo this industry. As a matter of fact, I need to redo every industry that meets one of two criterias. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let me go back to Surveyor. And now if I go into here, edit session, these are all marked running, and I'm just going to hit restart. I don't actually know if that makes a difference. It seems to, maybe, but for now I'm doing it sort of as a due diligence thing. Excuse me. So, yeah. The car spawners aren't working. They weren't working for two reasons. One is that schedule at Trackmark is acting up, and that is a strange one, and I can't figure out why. The other thing that was going on is that the trains were showing as not having AI drivers. And as far as I could tell, that was a bug, is and was a bug, with the engines we were using. Now, if anyone recalls, when we set this up, we were using Invisible Train. The reason we were using Invisible Train is because, number one, it's invisible, so it wasn't rendering, and, B, it doesn't have smoke or steam or sound effects or anything like that. It is undetectable. So that sort of all folds under invisible, but the point is, it's not a... I didn't want to see them. I didn't want the game to be rendering 35 extra locomotives every 60 minutes when these things activate. So I used an invisible one. The invisible one wasn't working, so I decided to switch to something else. That something else, I thought, okay, well, what can I use that would be distinct, right? My original thought way back when was using a 44 tonner, because it's pretty ubiquitous, it wouldn't feel out of place, it wouldn't be a problem to use a 44 tonner. It's relatively small. It'll be able to maneuver in here. I don't want to use a big boy for this. But I kind of ruled that out because I don't actually want anything that, has a significant impact on the rendering of the game. And also, I don't want anything that blends in, right? Because if... Oh, what is this for? This is for spawning loaded and empty cars for me to pick up. Eventually, these are all going to get tied together into a big staging yard. What each of these modules does, this portal creates 4 cars and 1 locomotive every 60 minutes. It drives out to here, it picks one of these track marks to drive through, which these are in a track mark list, so it'll try to go to the first one of the list, which is this one, and then it'll go to this one if it can't get to that one, and then it'll go to this one if it can't get to that one. So, if it pulls up to this one, schedule at track mark says, okay, give it commands to back up to that loader over there, fill up, come back, and then the engine cuts off, runs to terminate, and deletes itself. So it leaves behind loaded cars. If it drives to this one, it says stop, cut off the engine, run over here, and delete the engine. So it leaves behind empty cars. If it drives to here, it does nothing. It just deletes itself. So we will always have a stock of loaded cars, empty cars, and, well, an empty track, for every commodity on the map. That way, if a industry chain is incomplete and I need to source a commodity from somewhere off map on staging, it's always available. If I grabbed an 06R, removed the smoke effect, and skinned it neon green, that would be really funny. It would definitely stand out. It meets criteria number 1, because no smoke effect. It meets criteria number 2, because it would definitely be noticeable, but I found something better. So my first thought was, what about like a car mover? I couldn't find that on DLS. Then I thought, what about a high rail truck? I found that, but it's an object, not a vehicle. So I found the next best thing. Dean, you're gonna love this. All of the trains coming out of these portals are now driven by Chevy Silverados. Or S10s, or whatever this is. This is probably an S10. Uh, which is hilarious on multiple levels. Partly because, one, it's not centered, it's not even on the ground. It has no driving effects, and the front is backwards. And I'm also wondering if that contributes to why the schedule at track mark situation is not working. I might tell it to reverse direction as soon as it comes out of the portal. Maybe that will help. So, you know, that's where we are with the car spawners. I tried them for a while, and they're kind of a background thing. I would dick around on the route. Every 60 minutes, these portals would spit out a consist, and I would see if it worked or not. You know? Honestly, the other thing I could and should probably do, and I know I normally start with, I normally start with scenery work, but in this case, I'm starting with these. I'm going to set these to be that way so that there is no possibility of oopsie if the train runs away. It'll just run off the end of the track or run into the track mark that tells it to delete itself. There we go. Is that an improvement? No idea. But yeah, this is the car spawner run by floating Chevy pickups. And I said I should do one of these an episode, but I'll do it at the end of the episode. The next up commodity, if I check my list here, the next up commodity after barley is beer. Although we do make a surplus of that, so I probably don't need a car spawner for that right now. Well, actually, no. I will need the empty cars for that, or I will possibly need the empty cars for that, so I still need a car spawner for it. The other thing is, I'm doing these in alphabetical order, but shifting them over is, like, it doesn't work properly. So they're going to be in alphabetical order for now, and then the new ones we add are probably not going to be in alphabetical order. So, you know, we'll go from there. We'll burn that bridge when we come to it. I also wanted to work on the portals. If we were doing an iPortal session, I would have figured them out, but we're not, so I'm not right now. The other thing I did off camera or on, you know, Discord stream was I found some other locomotives. I found some other consolidations. Now we've got a flock of 5 consolidations, which are all slightly different, and we can use them all for different things. I think these guys are going to be present on the southern part of the Gilson Eastern system, because I have previously established that they use oil down there. Also, I found this 10-wheeler, which I very much like. So we're using this 10-wheeler as well. Anywho, I did learn quite a bit about Living Railroad, and I wanted to talk about the industries before I got rolled into anything else. I need to replace all of the industries fitting either of 2 criteria. Any plans to reskin said consolidations? If anyone wants to reskin them for me, go for it. That's the plans. The plan is I am deferring to the Great Tolbrin reskin project, and if anybody decides that that's what they want to do, those are all the assets there, and I'll page through them really quick so that everyone can see them, and then I will just sort of leave it as an exercise to the viewer to pause the video and figure out which ones they are. Consolidations. This guy is... Oh, shoot. I actually wanted to do this. ATSF 789 Class 280-811. This one is 312 280 Baldwin Loco MBC 097. These are both, I believe, Ben Neal models. They're actually, yeah, they're reskins of the same locomotive. This is DRGW Class 48, or C48 Class 280, which I think also might be a Ben Neal model. It certainly looks the part. There's this thing, which I'm not sure if it's reskinnable. Loco PRH9 Consolidation TS12. And then... No, I didn't download the ancient C41. I forgot about that one. Actually, I might already have it, though. And Loco UP Harriman Consolidation Team. We've established that this guy is used for the Volga Mountains Railroad. This is one of their classes of consolidations. And we've established that this guy is used as one of the Gilson Eastern's classes of consolidations. No, the closest thing I have is this Boeing 737. You don't need to reskin that. So I do not have the C41. I should go download that, but I'm not going to do it in the middle of an episode because sometimes that'll crash the effing game. So replace the industries. Two things. One is if the industry is not a multiple industry. That's fairly straightforward, but the thing is, the reason is, they have changed the UI, and I've talked about this before. And now I'm going to post the live stream thing. The reason I'm replacing all of the industries with multiple industries is they changed the UI, and now it's much harder to control how much anything does. And that's point number one. That was a frustration with every non-multiple industry. Point two is that living railroad, when you have an industry like this with multiple pickups and drop-offs, can't tell them apart. It'll just sort of drive to whichever, or whatever is the first on the list, and it will pick up from there and there only. It'll pick up and drop off there and there only, even if it can't physically do that. Like, you know, say, I don't know if the lumber one was the top one, but it would keep trying to drop logs off at the lumber one and pick up wood chips over here at the lumber platform. It doesn't work. And Living Railroad will repeat that over and over and over again. It'll try it, it won't work, it'll give up, it'll return the rail cars, then it'll try it again, and it'll repeat that same cycle indefinitely until it finds something else to do. So these need to go. The original default industries with multiple platforms, they all need to go because of that. And they have gone. This has been replaced and this has been replaced. Although I'm really not happy with the industries here in Olive anymore, and I started looking at potential replacements like this, as well as some attached buildings for the output. So basically, I want to redo the Olive Industries. I want to make it look more like a real lumber mill instead of this. And that would mean downsizing the actual lumber mill part, but it would give me space to add things like drop-offs for other sizes of logs and add pickups for other sizes of lumber. A couple of the industries around here handle different sizes of lumber just to add some intrigue. If they can all be contained here, that means I can use these industries for more generic goods instead of a lumber-specific entire train yard that is incredibly inefficiently designed. So, yeah, I think I can. I think I could do it. I don't want to do it right now. It's a whole other. It's a lot of effort to redo something that's already done. If I do it, I don't think it would be here during Under Construction stream. It would probably be during a supplementary episode of some description. I've said that if I was a channel with 11 million subscribers, I would do it as like a stay-up-all-night charity stream. Like, how quickly can I redo all the Olive Industries and donate to whatever cause? So, with that in mind, all the industries need to be replaced with multiple industries. All of the multiple industries that have multiple load and unload, and this is something else that I learned. So, yeah, donate to WWF. It goes directly to the Build 11 fund. I mean, I was thinking of something, more like genuinely altruistic. However, WWF, great cause. Not saying that building a steam locomotive isn't altruistic in some way. I don't mean that. I just mean like a help starving kids kind of charity. Uh, Anywho, I've come back here because there's another important point I want to make, which is, I think I have two new hypotheses about Living Railroad. One is that, similar to the industry with multiple pickup and drop-off tracks, Living Railroad does not know what a multiple industry is capable of loading and unloading. Which, that's a fairly provable hypothesis because I replaced this industry with a multiple industry. This is the log drop-off. The moment it started getting any lumber in this queue here, wow. An Orphan won't last as long as a well-maintained locomotive. I mean, you're not wrong. Never mind. They kept trying to pick up lumber from here, which doesn't help anybody because they physically cannot. They have to go over here to do it. They got stuck in a loop trying to pick up lumber from here. So, Living Railroad will pick up, or will attempt to pick up, from industry tracks that it cannot pick up from thanks to Living Railroad. And it'll probably try to drop off there too. It cannot pick up and drop off from thanks to settings in the multiple industry, because Living Railroad doesn't know the difference. That's point number one. Number two is it'll try to pick up commodities only from industries with an active process. You'll notice that this one over here, this guy over here, is completely full of lumber, and yet Living Railroad never picked up from this. And I don't think that Waybuild's percentage has anything to do with it. Because I went into a test world, I messed with Waybuild percentage a whole bunch, and it didn't seem to affect the performance of Living Railroad. It didn't affect their decision making in the slightest, as far as I could tell. So, we need to replace all the industries with multiple industries, and we need to replace all of the industries with multiple industries that are connected through industry links with identical copies of themselves, but have all of the pickup and drop-off platforms have internal processes related to the commodity that needs to be picked up or dropped off. The way to fix this, the way to make this happen, is through something that I was only recently made aware of the existence of because I went and found it, which is a dummy commodity. A commodity which does not go in any rail cars and has no purpose other than to be on the inside of the industry. We already use a dummy commodity elsewhere on the map, but it isn't the dummy commodity. The dummy commodity cannot be loaded into any rail cars by default, and therefore Living Railroad will never try to pick it up with a rail car. We use a dummy commodity here because I couldn't get the quantities of stuff to add up, so I used something as a dummy commodity. I used a couple of things as dummy commodities. I actually might need more than one. One of the things that I wanted to use as a dummy commodity was the wooden letters. Does anyone remember when Trainz, 2006 I think it was, came with wooden railway stuff built in? It turns out there are commodities for all the letters of the alphabet that you could load onto the wooden rail cars. And I think those would make fantastic dummy commodities because there's never going to be a rail car on this map that can load the letter A. At least as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I'll ever be aware. If you put down wooden rail cars and the AI decides to take off with them so that it can load the intermediate product from the lumber mill into the steel mill, or the chemical plant, because they both use the same dummy commodity, that is completely on you. Maybe it should be a note in there somewhere, a disclaimer. This route will not work if you place down wooden railway trains. It'll be the only such disclaimer anywhere in the Trainz community. So you're saying we could make a train with the Innite B-movie script? I'm saying there's a chance. I'm saying there's also a commodity called random letters. And I assume it does what it says in the tin. Instead of being a specific letter, it'll display a random letter. I'm saying that if you create enough trains out of portals, you could spontaneously generate the entire B-movie script from thin air. We are building, we are constructing ChatGPT using Trainz portals, and the only casualty will be my own computer. We don't have to worry about the giant Amazon data centers sucking up water and noise polluting communities. The only community that's going to be polluted here by this act of incredible, ingenious stupidity is this very room. And if Venkman was here, he'd be very upset about that. Also, if he understood any of what I'm saying right now. But I think he only knows the word hungry. When I say that out loud, it usually shows up pretty fast. Yeah, monkeys and typewriters, except they're all named Adair. Actually, I forget. I named all of the dudes in the portal machine, in the rail car making machine, after the commodity that they create. So after doing a lot of fiddling, I ended up having 3 drivers named Ammonia. Which, just in case anyone is thinking about it, don't name your kid that. Oh. You're not the person I expected to show up when I said hungry, but here you are. Hi, Lafayette. Come here. Come here, come say hi. Come here. Woo! I'm sick and tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. Hi. Hi. Lafayette. Lafayette. Are you hungry? You're a good boy. You're the one who said B-movie script. I personally think that we should be investing our time into encouraging Trainz to recreate the entire script of. Oh, this is great. This is. I gotta put this in the physical pick list for the lumber mill shenanigans. Oh shoot, I can't. There we go. I personally think we should be recreating the entire script of the fantastic 2003 disaster movie The Core. I made a location bookmark once upon a time and it went away. I need to put it back. Hang on. How do I make a location? Oh, set bookmark. Okay. And because this is going to spare me a lot of trouble now that this map is really big. Home on the Range 2004, take it or leave it. I'll take it. Also, adore that movie. I mean, I like that movie a lot more than The Core. I watched it quite a bit as a kid. I've watched The Core maybe 3 times. Just for the record, The Core is not a good movie. It holds a special place in my heart. Don't watch it expecting a cinematic masterpiece. Watch it expecting something that would have been incredibly well placed if it had come out 10 years, excuse me, if it had come out 10 years afterward, you know, in the peak of disaster movies was like 2012, right? Because of the movie 2012. Uh, don't get me started, Ryan. I will yodely leedle idaloo. Um, uh, oh god, oh god. There's a bit of that movie that I always like internally quote, and I can't remember it now. Um, but it's a line from the horse. It's probably something relating. It's something surrounding I'm wearing Rico's saddle, something like that. Um, what a great movie! A great movie that terrified me as a child. A great movie that taught me to be genuinely fearful of flash floods because that movie, because that scene is horrific. Uh, like to a child, it's absolutely terrifying. Um, like nothing else in the movie freaked me out. Like there's plenty of. Also, I'm gonna have to switch it back to noon. I need these shadows to go away. Um, let's see. It's like 3:30 in the afternoon, but we're gonna go back to noon. Um, oh, you know what? I'm still gonna have to deal with the shadows because I finally set the world origin properly. So now the days are the appropriate length. Okay. Hoodwinked would be funny to do. Sorry, I missed that comment. Hoodwinked is also fantastic. Hoodwinked is, and we're getting tons of we're getting tons of live action remakes that nobody ever asked for stuff. Some of them are all right. Some of them are less than all right. I haven't seen any of them, so my opinion on them should not really matter at all. Um, but I feel like I'm not in the minority when I say like we didn't need those movies to be created. Some of them are definitely going absolutely gangbusters at the box office, and I can't deny that. But um, it still it feels unnecessary. Uh, that being said, the movie that we need a remake of, and I don't care if it's live action or if it's just like animated well, uh, because no offense to the folks who animated Blue Sky, folks who animated Hoodwinked, which is not Blue Sky. I don't think, but the rumor is that they were learning to animate as they were making the movie, and you can kind of tell. Like I love that movie, but the animation is more like weird and surreal and not great, more than the Polar Express, which came out the same year. Um, didn't realize that. Uh, oh wait, no, sorry, that didn't come out the same year. It came out the same year as Home on the Range. I don't remember when Hoodwinked came out. Um, but it's a little off-putting, you know? Like I can look past the Polar Express. I don't think I can rewatch Hoodwinked. Um, I'd give it a shot. You know, somebody can put it in for community playdate next week or whatever. I don't know where you can watch it, but I'd give it a shot. I just don't know if I can do it. I don't want anything else about that movie to be changed. I don't want any of the characters, any of the plot points, any of the dialogue. Hell, you can reuse the original voice lines if you want. Just reanimate it. Just reanimate it. And it would be fantastic. That's and maybe it's there's some bias on my part because I'm not thinking about where that movie did fall short and this, that, and the other thing. But like, uh, oh, someone did put the movie on YouTube. Well, that's an option. Um, if it's like a half decent thing, there are some people will put stuff up on YouTube, and sometimes it'll just be like this weird picture in picture and flipped and whatever. It's just like you went through all these pains to to get this movie away from the censors, and now it's just like weird and unwatchable. Um, if somebody has a DVD copy, that's a different story. I would love, we've made that work before. Okay. Um, let me think here. Let me think. Something I think I want to put a building here that would have looked like it connected to this building at one point before they knocked it all down for parking. I think that's what I want to do. Show search filter. And that's what this, I recently learned what that button does. My pick list is gone. Womp womp. We got Jack Daniels. I think I used this building already. I recognize the Jack Daniels thing. Maybe... Oh no, I'm thinking of the Jim Beam one. Oh, it's the same building. Just with different logos on the side. Or different advertisements. Anyway. What about you? Yeah, okay. You're not bad. I saw you watched Field of Dreams. That is a movie I've heard a lot about and never seen. Okay. 203.7. Let's aim for a 0.7. That's 0.7. I don't know if that's going to be... 203 would mean it would have to end in 3. But this definitely does not end in 3. Yeah, I could see it being 63. Well, you can't expect everything to have the exact same sort of world origin and with respect to relation, or with respect to rotation, but the PRR 280. So I do have one that is placed down in the world, and I can check the road number on that. But they're going to be a sequence of locomotives. I believe the Gilson Eastern had somewhere between 10 and 50 of them based on the spreadsheet. Locomotives and cars. 280. They had between 50 and 100 of them, as a matter of fact. Or sorry, no. No, they did have between 10 and 50. And they were in the number sequence of 200 to 300, or 200 to 299. But given that this is one class of locomotives, it would have been either 200 to 249 or 250 to 299. It's got to be in there somewhere. So I will check the one that we have and tell you which numbering sequence it belongs in. I also may be able to check that just by looking at the spreadsheet. But instead, what I can do is I can just zoop back to Olive. Oh shoot, it's not in Olive. Never mind. It's in Mason's Landing. I'm not gonna put a thing here because I only have 10 bookmarks and I intend to fill them up over the course of making the route, I guess. Okay, so it's tucked in here. $291. Okay, so this is the higher number. The consolidations were in the running from 250 to 299, which is to say that if you're making one, I would probably make it 250. I'd consider using 2.0 to move things very delicately. I've actually had more luck with regular Surveyor, even especially rotating things. Moving things delicately in one specific axis, Surveyor 2 is quite good at, but in a lot of cases, I've done okay with just regular move tool. There we go. Both of the move tools, both Surveyor 1 and Surveyor 2, are surprisingly lacking in terms of fidelity. Uh, like, the smallest increment you can move them is kind of surprisingly little. Uh, I don't know about anybody else, but that's the way I feel about it. Now, in this case, I'm definitely going to use Surveyor 2 because I can line this up on this end and I can scoot it along its own axis. There's no hotkey to switch between Surveyor 1 and Surveyor 2, and that would be helpful. That'd be a nice thing to have. So I can scoot this along like that, and then I can scoot this along like this. Although I hadn't lined them up to begin with. Part of the reason that I struggle with moving stuff in Surveyor 2 is, well, one, the grab is a little bit small, but that's not a bad thing, really. And the other is that it's tough to see what you're doing with that big highlight. I'm not really complaining because it is useful. Just sort of stating a fact out here. There we go. The buildings go smaller as you go down the row. Surveyor Classic. Back to this. Have you used the arrows? As in arrow keys? Is that a thing that I can do? Because that would kind of be a game changer. The arrows. What do you mean by the arrows? Now let's get this into position using this, and I'll see what. Fine adjustment tool. Are the colored arrows sprouting from the center? Are you calling these arrows? Or am I missing some other kinds of arrows? Because I might be. You never know. You know me. Always missing arrows. If I'm not seeing arrows when I should be seeing arrows, feel free to tell me how to see arrows. No, I mean, I use those. I do use those quite a bit because they are very useful for moving along a specific axis. I actually use those quite often when it comes to, oh shoot, these are like closed up. I actually use those quite often when it comes to, manipulating splines, track, and roadways. They can be very, very useful. Because they let you move along the direction of the spline, which is, you know, unheard of. It's fantastic. Now I'm going to need a fence of some description. And I want it to be along here, like this is the property line. And maybe I just want hedges around the side here. I think that would be the sort of correct option. I don't know about a hedgerow. But I do want something that's a little bit more unkempt, like this. I need a billboard with a DeLorean behind it. Is that an asset? You just said that so casually. Is that a thing? What do you mean? Okay. Let's do this. This is a seasonal thing, and I honestly don't know what that entails with respect to this asset. I know what seasonal assets are, but I've never really used them, nor have I sort of indulged to sort of see what they look like. Doing seasonal assets is great if you have a route that is going to be displayed in multiple seasons where you expect the calendar to advance. I honestly am sort of the opinion that this route is the same day over and over again, which is what I was originally intending, and it's just like a day in the middle of June, you know. Let's I kind of want to put up a wall here now, a wall of some description. Um, what is this wall? Too fancy. And I think the wall, and what is the first thing I think of? And weirdly enough, it's not We Don't Need No Education, but it is off that album. Um, and you know what? Just like that, it's gone. Just like that, it's gone. Um, because I thought of now I thought of now I thought of that song, and it went right out of my head. Another brick in the wall. Um, I actually wanted to make this much closer to the thing there, which we can use Surveyor 2 for that. Let's do that. Dragon, I appreciate any and all expertise on Surveyor 2 because I do not know how to use it. Is there a way, except for the basics, you know, is there a way to apply a certain rotation to an object? Because I noticed there is a rotation setting here, and I cannot for the life of me figure out how to use that. Hello, my love.
Are you ready to guess?
I am ready to guess. Is it the Berry Melon Rebellion because you drank my last one? Ah, is it lemon? Is it orange? Alright, well, those are my three guesses.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Bum, ba-da-bum.
Oh, the Rhodey Red! This would have not been on my list of guesses. I forgot I got this. Thanks to our not sponsor, Yacht Club Soda, Yacht Club Rhode Island's official soda. I don't know if it's actually official, but that's what it says in the bottle caps. If you saw on the Tolbrin Peninsula thread in the Discord, I said I stocked up on yacht clubs. Oh, we have a DeLorean asset, we have multiple billboards. So it's a do-it-yourself DeLorean behind billboard. Understandable. I was going to be kind of impressed if there was specifically that asset. I think that would be an oddly specific thing to make an asset for, but I really wouldn't put it past the Trainz community. Let me check it out. I'm going to check it on the route. Oh, yeah, no, I don't know if there's a way to do that. I just kind of figured if you are the expert, I would ask you. So, yeah, the Rhodey Red. This is like as I understand, it's similar to a Dr. Pepper. I'm not a huge fan of dark sodas, and I've never actually had a Dr. Pepper, so I'm sort of taking everyone's word for it. But, it's okay. If this is what Dr. Pepper is like, then I definitely don't hate Dr. Pepper. In fact, I think he's done wonderful things for advances in the medical field. Although maybe what I mean by that is that, you know, all the sugar has given lots of people heart disease, and therefore lots of opportunities for study of what happens to people who have way too much sugar. Okay. So let's do this backlot area here. And like I've mentioned, this area is abutting tracks. Well, even more than that. This area now contains tracks. And as a consequence, I feel like I should probably spend a little bit of extra time on the detailing around here. But I think I might do a detail pass as a separate thing. Because there are only so many good clutter assets out there. There are plenty, but at the end of the day, plenty is only so many. Uh, and I don't want to be looking up the same ones over and over again for a little bit here and a little bit there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a tree pass and I'm going to make a clutter pass. And when we do that, we are going to get in all of the clutter that we need to get in for all the areas near the railroad tracks. So that's my plan. I don't know if it's a great plan, but it's definitely a concept of a plan. So I hope when it comes to that, when we get there, when we get to the part where we're going to be able to do a detail pass on this city, I will not be completely out of the desire to do said detail pass. Let's grab our really grassy ground. There it is. Yo, Ellis, how can I convince you to put my Jeep somewhere as a memorial? By saying that. Give me a second and I'll find a spot for it. Actually, I think I know where to put it. I have a first idea of where to put it. I have a couple of ideas, as a matter of fact. But Matt, I know I haven't been able to talk to you specifically since your Jeep was destroyed, for lack of a better word. But like, man, I am so sorry for you. I feel really bad on your behalf. It's like losing a family member. I completely understand anything you're going through about it. It's awful, and I have thus far, and on the one hand, right, like I'm here for you. Obviously it's a little bit different. I don't feel like you necessarily need to call someone and grieve. But if that is what you need to do, then I'm certainly not going to begrudge you for it. On the flip side, in memoriam of your Jeep, with respect for you, I have not sent you any Craigslist Volvos yet. I'm sure the time will come. Remember, the XJ and 240s, they look very similar, you know? Okay, what asset is your Jeep? Because I remember you found one, right? Oh, Jeep. Okay, there's a Fire Chief one. Okay, Jeep Cherokee. Let's see. I have a bunch of them. Yours was like a dark color, right? I didn't think it was black, but I thought it was like a dark green. Or like a really dark, something. Are there... Oh, you did a reskin of yours exactly. Is it on the DLS? Could you put it on the DLS? A light grayish blue. Okay. This is light gray. I would put it over here in like the dirt track area, unless you have actually I have an idea. I have an idea. The Surveyor 2 is going to come in handy for this. If you put yours on the DLS, I will replace this one with yours. There we go. Now that is exactly where it should be. Oh, damn it. Oh, wrong way. Maybe I should scoot it forward just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Actually, just going to lower it just a little bit. I want it to feel realistic. There we go. It'd be even funnier if I did this with like 5 city buses lined up or whatever, you know? Like we got Evil Knievel out here. All right. Uh, have you ever seen a NASCAR fly? You've seen a oh shoot, what is the line from Shrek? You've seen a uh uh you've seen a something fly, maybe even a super fly, but you ain't never seen a donkey fly. Awful canoffle. If I had like a marquee sign to put there, I would say it would have it like awful canoffle visits, Bellington. Actually, what would be very funny to do is uh, make like a fake newspaper article for the Bellington Herald or something that just has the Jeep midair and is like awful canoffle visits Bellington. Anyway, all right, back to work. Also, did you just come up with the name Awful Canoffle? Because that's fantastic. Um, hello, Sacco Films. All right, there we go. Put in some grass. Play on awful. No, play. Well, I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. Um, TJ, I'm not sure if you saw, but we're paying homage to Matt's Jeep. I put it in a appropriate location on the map as an Easter egg. Thank you, Surveyor 2, for allowing me to pitch it up like that, because it would not be possible otherwise. If Matt gets the copy of it on the DLS, it's going to go there instead. Okay. So, what's next for our little town? It's really not so little. Um, I have basically, oh, missed a spot. I've basically fixed this into, this is all set. This area is basically done. I mean, the back area here is not, but that's going to be sort of more tall grass and gravel, and that's going to take me about 5 minutes to do. Not the end of the world that I have not done that yet, and I'm calling this area quote-unquote done. I think, unfortunately, it's just for funs and giggles. Oh, for Surveyor 2.0, the rotation snap thing? Damn. I really hope they find a use for that eventually, because I would love to be able to force apply a specific rotation to objects. That would be incredibly, incredibly useful for making large swaths of buildings and things like that. Uh, hello, Reddy. How's Missouri? Are you saying you're in Missouri, or are you saying you're in misery? Because I can get behind both, to be honest. I like Missouri. Well, that's on you, buddy. Oh, Missouri is wet. Oh, well, yeah, that's not the answer I expected. Um, Also, I do not have anything against Missouri. That was just that was a cheap shot on my part. I apologize. Um, okay, so we're getting further down into here. We're getting to the point where it almost feels like we can actually use part of this town. Already, this is like a fantastic diorama spot because you can put a train up there and a train down here. Oh, you know what I need? I need some crossing boards. Hi, Venkman. I can feel you sniffing my leg for no reason. Venkman, I said your favorite word earlier and you didn't even show up. What's with that? What gives? Um, Crossing boards, crossing boards, crossing boards. Here's some crossing boards. Okay. Yeah, so it is what it is. Do I see perhaps screenshot opportunities? You were absolutely right. Uh, I've kind of been not like waiting is the wrong word, but like I have been curious to see if you do anything with all the screenshots that I took last time. You're welcome to try to make one. I'm looking forward to the first episode where I don't have ye olde screenshot, or not even a screenshot. It's not a screenshot of anything. Uh, am I sure glad he's up here, there, and we're down here? And oh God, don't get me started with that video again. Where's the caveman? Um, okay, what do I put here? This is my current triangle, right? Like this is a triangle, and then this is a triangle, and these are the two things that I have to figure out how to fill up. Uh, then once we get into here, I think I'm gonna go for some more serious density. These blocks are 350 feet, which honestly is probably too big. Um, and I'm gonna have to figure that out. I might end up shrinking them down to smaller than that. Because well, one, these blocks don't fit, and B, I don't really have buildings that do fit. Um, these blocks here are not 350 feet. They are. Let me check. I think they're closer to 300 or maybe 250. Oh, these are 200. That's how small these are. Um, and we should probably be doing that kind of thing over here. Um, can I send screenshots of stuff that's been happening in the route you posted in the drive in the public copy, the most recent copy? Yeah, you can. Sure, why not? Um, it's not like that chat is cluttered with all sorts of things, and I'm worried so much about, oh, I need to make sure that the stuff that I'm posting is getting through to the people. I want to make sure the people see it. Uh, I want to talk to the people, Piccolo. Um, I'm not a big fan of the government. So this, yeah, like put whatever in there that's Tollbrand related, or even like tangentially Tollbrand related. Um, I feel like I should put some parking spaces in the back here. Um, it's not cluttered. If you want to go get some epic screenshots and then give them to N&W and then make a thumbnail for me, that would be fantastic. I would not complain. All right, we got some parking spaces. Kind of goofy parking spaces, but parking spaces nevertheless. Okay. This is This is one of my favorite new buildings. This the Bellington Cold Storage Warehouse, which has made me really want to go visit the Albany warehouse again. It's been a while. I'm probably too fat to fit back under the fence to get in there, but I would try. I would try. I would love to really explore more of that building before it's totally gone and or inaccessible. Honestly, it's probably inaccessible now. I'll bet you they have that thing, locked up pretty tight. There's probably not a giant gaping hole in the door anymore. Um, it's it might be one of those things where the opportunity has passed, and I just need to be glad that I had and took advantage of the opportunity to get into that building when it was available, um, because it was kind of amazing. The few times that I went in there, and I really wish I wasn't one like totally skeeved out, but also really concerned about the cops showing up and telling me off. Um, the thing about urban exploration is, most of the time, the cops are going to show up and tell you to piss off. And that's kind of it. Uh, and this is not me giving you permission to go and break into wherever. Uh, really don't break into anywhere. If you can get in without breaking, that's ideal. Um, because you don't want to be breaking and entering. If it's just entering, I mean, they still might nail you for breaking and entering if they really care. But if it's not obvious that you, like, busted down a door and cut a lock to be in a place, chances are whoever comes to get you out of that place is going to be a little bit more understanding. Or at least less annoyed at you specifically. Um, Now, there's no like necessary guarantee that they're going to believe you if they get there and the door's busted down and you say, "Well, it wasn't me. It was like it was like that when I found it." That's a nice train station. Honestly, maybe that should go here instead of the O&W station. Well, I already made the O&W station fit. We'll have to use this somewhere else. I'm gonna put it in the physical pick list. But the next place that would have a depot like this would probably be the station in um station in like Wombeck or something, the really southern end of the map, and we're never gonna get down there, not in a while. So, yeah. There's a city hall office. We've used that before. Um, J.C. Penney store. I can probably put this here and make this like an L-shaped structure. I'll take a screenshot, see how it looks. Okay, this can go here. Oh, I don't like the fact that it cuts off those windows. I might just have to live with it. I don't think it cuts off the glass. Oh, no, it does. But it's not super obvious that that's what it's doing, so maybe we can just leave it. Maybe I can sort of cover the part of my brain that's annoyed by that and not think about it too much. Something else I noticed, there are areas out in the world where you have an a building coverage that looks something like this, but it's just mills. And there's only like one track leading to them, or maybe there's one that sort of snakes in the middle, and it's just a big set of machines that does a process, and that's it. So maybe we'll do something like that. The other thing maybe I should do is, well, narrow up these blocks a little bit. Um, this street, I talked about how this is pedestrianized and would probably have tucked into here at some point. I think um, adding a section of street that goes this way is not really out of the question. The more street we build, the largest, the hotkey to hide the UI I think is F5. Um, the more street we build, the more area is taken up by street, the easier it is for me to finish the route or the town or whatever. It's almost impossible, but it's the forever project. It is something that I am not, like I say every episode, I'm not concerned with finishing this project. I am only concerned with sitting down for 3 hours every Tuesday and maybe, every once in a while driving a train around. It has gotten easier as we've gone on. It is currently 8:20, which means we are about halfway through this episode. We started a little bit late, so we've only been at it an hour and 10 minutes or so, but it's enough. It's enough to say that we're just about halfway. No, we're really not. There's another hour and 40 minutes in this episode, with any luck, anyway, unless something catastrophic happens. I'm not gonna wish that evil on us. So, yeah, we need to separate this. Let's add a spline point there, and then this is going to be straighten that spline out, and then I want to add a spline point. Insert spline point here, straighten spline, and then, okay, this is actually going to be a little bit tricky because I've built this really bad intersection. These are the intersections that I hate in real life. And hate is a strong word, but really they're just very annoying to deal with from a traffic engineering perspective. And boy, are there a lot of them, especially in older urban areas where the street grids are not lined up. You can have two adjacent neighborhoods whose street grids started just a little bit off. They may have started at very similar times, but they don't match. And that leads to a sequence of intersections like this. I'm sure anyone who's driven around in a place like Central Falls, an industrialized area that industrialized in like the 1920s or whatever, or before, but has grown for a great amount of time. It's all like this. Thankfully, yeah, upstate New York is rife with this, I would imagine. Anyway, let's do that. I bet it's terrible. It's frustrating. It's difficult to work with. It makes simulation modeling and traffic flow really difficult because you can't get people to like go lengthwise through everything. The only thing that I like these intersections for is it saves you a crosswalk. You put a crosswalk here, and a crosswalk here, and a crosswalk here across the middle, and suddenly you only have 6 ped heads and 6 ped heads and 6 push buttons, which is just easier for me, the designer. Also, importantly, it is less money. So, they've got that going for them. Alright, replace spline with selected asset. And then, yeah, we're gonna add some parking in here as well. I'm gonna start running out of built-up area because we are really out of the main downtown. This area in red is supposed to be the main downtown, and I haven't really been doing with it what I should be doing with it. Send a quick thingy in the Discord. Let me take a look at that. Hell yeah. I'm glad you liked that screenshot. I will try to remember. Well, I can't promise anything because I'm not good at remembering. But I will try to remember to use that next time. If I don't, go ahead and yell at me. Okay, Surveyor Classic. I think maybe we should do a residential block now, because I've done a bit of city today, and now I can reward myself with something I find even less enjoyable. Touched up the smoke a bit and added some details. Oh. Thank you. So, okay, residential stuff. Now, the problem is we're kind of out of residential blocks until we start looking at these. And like I just said, I think I need to change the spacing on these roads. They are too far apart. They're 350 feet apart. This needs to be denser than that. At least on one side of the... On one side of the road, I will reduce the block size to about 200 feet. On the other side of the road, I will not reduce the block size. So they're going to be a... we're going to have a lot of those intersections. A shirt factory. Converted to like an all-purpose space with a rail spur with caboose singular. Huh. That would be a bit of renovation that is a little out of time for the era. However, not out of the question. Maybe I will do that in a different... Let me actually write that in the ideas doc. Where is my section for... shoot. I don't know if I have a section for... Oh, there it is, Mansfield Branch Railroad. It just doesn't have the... There it is. Somewhere there is a converted former shirt factory. Now mixed use. It might be tough to translate that in Trainz. I mean, I'm sure I could figure out how to do it. But the question is, can I do it in a way that is not a pain to build? Because there are definitely ways I could do it. Okay, let's look over here. So here's a triangle. And for those new to the situation, I have been referring to these areas as triangles, even though they're not triangle shaped. They're just the area that I'm working on next. Outlet gun store. Upstate New York, never changed. So, let's see. I can't do these row houses here, but I would kind of like to find some. Maybe I can do a spline back here. Maybe we can see how a spline might work. Because the thing is, this whole area here, I forgot I did this. It's a real shame that you can't see the back of it, that you just sort of look straight through it. Because this is so great as the drive-in. It's so perfect. Anyway. Let's see what I've got for splines, for house splines. Because I might be able to make this work. Open the search filter again. That is a little too liminal. Whoa. Can I suggest the iPhone factory? You know what? You know what? Reading, you might actually get your wish. You might actually get your wish. I'm just going to put a note down underneath my converted shirt factory now mixed use. iPhone factory complex. Not iPhone, but I period last name F-O-N-E. The iPhone factory. Now, here's the problem with building the iPhone factory. Here's why I shouldn't do it. Because you constantly asking me to make the iPhone factory is very critical engagement to this channel. If I make it, then what are you going to do next? Will you even watch the videos anymore? What's the point? What would be the purpose in life? Okay, so notice something. And I think we're going to have to use these row houses because everything else is too small. And yeah, that's kind of it. Everything else is too small. This block is one of the only ones that I haven't narrowed. And honestly, I really don't like the way this turned out. This was me experimenting with different row houses. I love listening to my grandfather tell me stories of growing up in the 50s. He told me just how many iPad kids there were. Yep. And it's all because of Reading. Okay. Okay. Listen, there's not much going on around here. The iPhone factory, really, it may be a critical pillar. Okay, let's see. Let's get a block of 4 in here. Let's do that. And then what did I do over here? Oh, I did the same damn thing. Alright, well, let's instead push this down to the end. And then we'll get some other blocks. Like this one. Yep. How about it? Instead of going to China, Apple decided to build a time machine to go back and use cheap labor. Yes. The only problem is when they, their plans were foiled when they encountered the, like 90% marginal tax rate at the highest income in the 1950s. It's like, oh no, well, I guess we can't pay our workers, but we definitely can't pay the government. Alright, let's 39.0. And then let's scoot these in. I'll try to make them as close to even with the roads as possible. That's too far away and that's too close, so it's got to be somewhere in between. Let's go right there. And then we need some singles. Any singles in the audience? Okay, don't worry if I get the iPhone factory, I'll just start bugging you for a notification of the way. A bromine industry. That's actually very doable. I'm pretty sure we have a bromine commodity. Hold on. You say that. I know you jest, right? But we do have a bromine commodity. We have a bromine commodity. It comes in what is the appropriate vehicle for this? The DOWX bromine tank car. It is a bromine specific rail car. And I can absolutely make use of this. And I put it on the list because I found it and it was a neat commodity. Now, don't get me wrong, I have no idea what I would use this for. But like, it is goofy. Um, Hold on, I'm gonna Google this. What is bromine used for? Not in pools. I mean, in pools, yes. Uh, oh, bromine is used for inorganic bromides and alkyl bromides. Why didn't I think of that? Um, it is a liquid at high temperatures. Bromine free radical and chemical chains. This makes organobromine compounds useful as fire retardants. Interesting. More than half of the bromine produced each year is put to this purpose. Oh, they also used it for pesticides. It's used in well drilling fluids, pesticides, photographic film. Okay, okay, okay. We can definitely work with that. The film stuff is really interesting. We can definitely make like a, in-universe Kodak equivalent factory. It would that would be a really interesting prototype to explore. I kind of wonder what that looked like. Where did Kodak manufacture stuff? Uh, Kodak Park. Uh, and can I look at what the arrangement of tracks at the Kodak Film Factory looked like? Um, Kodak Park in New York. I'm gonna look it up. Kodak Park in Rochester. Eastman Business Park, as it is now called. Let's go on a field trip, everyone. Pack your bags, we're going on a field trip. Holy cow, look at this place. I'm assuming this was like old Kodak. Can't help but notice there are no railroad tracks. Well, that's really neat. Is this former railroad? What is this? Holy crap! Now that's a valley if I've ever seen one. Can I see topo for a second? Oh my god. Okay. Here's the train tracks. And here is the line into Kodak Park. There it is. Whoa. That's cool. Does this place still make film? I mean, Kodak still does make film. It has an intra-plant railroad. This included its coal power plant, as well as numerous other land and building assets. It was revealed that Kodak had stored uranium in an underground lab for almost 30 years. The uranium was considered weapons grade. Excuse me, Kodak? Kodak is building a nuclear bomb. Legalize nuclear bombs. Kodak is just like me in Civ 5 for real. Isn't that incredible? That's incredible. I should name it, and this is going to come out of left field, but I will explain my reasoning. I should name it the Adolphus Factory Complex, because Gustavus Adolphus, the leader of Sweden, is the last dude who I bombed in Civilization 5 at about 11 p.m. yesterday with nuclear weapons. Kodak, yeah, it mentions the intra-plant railroad. So it had all of these friggin' things. It had a power plant, and it had its own plant railroad. Here's a more recent view of it, I guess. Whoa! 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 Hold on. Go back. Let's look at that really quick. Hello. What an obnoxious railroad crossing. This is incredible. Where was the power plant building? I'm I'm honestly kind of assuming it was this because this is giving me power plant vibes, but I can only imagine it's not that. Also, the arrangement of these rail yards is bonkers. Um, One, it just keeps going. Oh, I have to imagine the coal power plant was probably somewhere near this giant pile of coal. Um, and maybe it was over here somewhere. I know that's not a pile of coal anymore, but also I love this. Is this brick? Oh, I can't look at it. Um, oh my god, it just keeps going. Oh my god. No wonder they need an intra-plant railroad. It just keeps going. Holy Moses! How? 1,300 acres. Holy crap! Well, I don't think we're going to be able to model that exactly, but I don't know. Put that in my ideas doc. Um, Maybe this will be in Ravenbridge or something. Um, I did say about putting a power plant and a nitric acid plant. Um, uh, why why would you not just have two separate cants instead of a jumbo cant? Uh, so hold on, I need to take this in a little more because, well, actually, here's what we should do. We should go to Rochester. Wonder if they call them steamed hams there. Uh, okay, where is the obnoxious tangle of rail lines that is obviously the plant? Is it in here? Yes, it is. Town of Greece? Aerials. So here's 2022. You can see all that. Also, how many people live in Rochester? 207,000. Okay. I wonder if that includes Greece. Um, let's go back to 1985. I'm still preoccupied with it, so it should help. Let's go look. There we go. Now it's a giant pile of coal. Um, you could do a surprising amount with a relatively small power plant. I was kind of figuring it would have been in one of these corners. It was right here. As a matter of fact, I wonder if I can see, is the stack still there? Wrong way. Well, those are some trees. Nope, now I'm just looking at the cant. Um, I don't see a stack in this direction. Maybe if I go back in time. What is that? No, that's a pole. Or is it? No, that's not what I'm looking for. Can I get Street View any closer to this? Because Kodak Park is a private road, there's no Street View on it. And all the rest of this stuff has way too much foliage. So let's just do this then. Kodak Park power plant. We'll go back. Kodak Park and a nuclear reactor. Okay. This is definitely not the thing at the corner down here. Because this corner boy is too small for that. This is definitely something else. Maybe it was over here. It was definitely, oh, you know, it might be this here. Again, one of these green spaces which doesn't have anything in it anymore. Yeah. Okay, this is looking like it. It was either down here or it was over here. If I can get an older aerial photo where you can see these twin stacks, because they look kind of iconic. Last coal cars roll into Kodak area, which was when? Wow, 2018. So it was recent. So that means I actually might be able to find it not on historic aerials, but on Google Earth. Yeah, hello. Oh, is this it? No, where the hell is it? It's got to be near the giant pile of coal. I know it has to be. It's either up here or it's over here. I'm looking for that building that we just saw in the thing, but I'm not seeing it. Is it down here? Is this it? This might be it. Somebody's already yelling at me, I bet. No, it's down there. No, it's down there. Hold on. Ah, there it is. Okay, so it was not in one of those little squares. But would you look at that? Where's that little building? Or where was that little... Oh, it must have been right here. Right. In fact, if we go back to 2018, you can see that there's this blue building here, 2015. Yeah, and that matches up with this. And then what are those, storage tanks? Yeah, okay, so it is right here. Well, here's your power plant. I did want to build a power plant in Ravenbridge. The problem is... Carpet Doctor. The problem is, I already have a pretty good-sized... I already went down one rabbit hole. I'm not going to go look up the railroad there. I already have a good-sized power plant here, number one. Which is... It feels like it's about the same size as the one that's there. This also has to be replaced with a multiple industry. And I wanted to do hydropower over there. So I might not have that place have its own power plant. The thing with Ravenbridge, I mean, Ravenbridge is actually like a pitch perfect example of this terrain, or at least that's what I'm going for, right? The Genesee River here is a great example, and Rochester in general is a great example of the kind of slopes I want to see when it comes to... whoa, look at that. the kind of slopes I want to see when it comes to the terrain around around Raven Bridge. And we're not going to get to Raven Bridge anytime soon, but this helps. This helps. Orthogonal incorporated. Also, look at this. Look at that meaty bridge. Also, this is... yeah, it's orthogonal, alright. Holy crap. What an interesting place. Oh, hey, Kodak. What's going on in here? This is an absolutely fascinating place. I wonder if... I mean, it looks like the power plant is still active, so I'm guessing that it got converted to natural gas or something. Because, you know, it's a power plant. Where'd it go? I lost it again. Oh, it's over here. And, you know, it's got... look at all these pipes. Look at all these pipes! If I go on to Mount Reed Boulevard, you can see these gigantic pipes, which I can only assume are for carrying steam from the power plant to places that need steam from the power plant. That's kind of a big deal, and in fact, I should have more pipes going everywhere in an industrial park like this. So anyway, hello Els, I just threw a 440 down a hill across an ice lake at 500 miles an hour. Okay. No, not bromine gas powered. That seems like a terrible and very toxic idea. On the bright side, I'm much more content with the way that my yards look here in Bellington after looking at that, because that was pretty dang chaotic. So where on earth would this be on map? Yeah, no, I think if we want to do it anytime soon, it's got to be in Raven Bridge, which is about 30 miles in that direction. It's going to be a while until we get there. But also, it's going to be a... so the thing is, even if the factories are powered by hydropower, they're going to need steam for a lot of things. So we could still have a power plant there, or at least a boiler of some description. Okay. What is this? Oh, this is a fence. How about fireless locomotives? We could probably find some fireless engines for that. Okay. It is now 10 of 9. It is now 10 of 9. Steam from the steamed hams. Damn it. Why didn't I see that coming? Okay. I need to get back. I'm so far off track. I'm in another universe. I'm thinking about nuclear bombs and celluloid film. Like, I'm on another planet right now. I'm zonked. Do you know if there's a way to copy an entire area to new elevation without borking it? Wondering if you can without the splines getting mad. Okay. Good question. So, you should be able to copy-paste with elevation turned off here in Surveyor Classic. But the splines in general don't like copy-pasting, so I can't help you too much there. In Surveyor 2, you can do the same thing. You just have to go down here and set ground height to either be relative or none. Actually, you probably want none unless your first area is completely flat. Or your last area is completely flat. If not, it's going to do weird things. But what you ask for is theoretically possible. The splines, though, I always redo by hand. Okay. Back to Surveyor Classic. What are we gonna do now, Ellie? Okay. I'm not. I am so off the headspace from, like, even considering finishing what I started down here. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't force myself to do it. I mean, I actually fairly easily could. I could just start putting stuff down. That's how it works. That's how it always works around here. But what should I do? On the one hand, dummy commodities. Dummy commodities are the thing we need to do. On the other hand, I want to do a Munedge. Let's go back over here. I want to work on more of these car spawners, but if they're not going to work, I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to make modules of whatever I'm inspired to make at the time and then spread them along the railroad, but the last time I tried that, it made all my pavement markings mad. Oh, like they got all height screwed up, I would imagine. Because that's tougher. We don't have bromine on the map yet. I'm not making a bromine tank car spawner. I can't give you anything. Maybe I'm gonna stop doing the iPhone factory. That was less annoying. I'm kidding, of course, but I give you an inch, you take a mile. How could you do this to me? Okay, what is up next, though? Beer on a pallet. That is the next car spawner. Let's see how fast I can make a car spawner. Beer on a tank car. Now, the first question is, what car, or not tank car, what car takes beer? If I go into my list of freight cars and loads, and I go to beer pallet, and scroll over, I can see that, I don't actually know. Beer goes in boxcar 40-foot copper range version 2 DES. And there are no alternates for that, as far as I can tell. There are no alternate rail cars, or sorry, there's only one preferred. There are no others that meet the standard. There's a 50-foot boxcar that also carries beer, but it carries like 2.5 carloads. We're not doing that. This is the part in the stream where everyone leaves. I get it. It's going to be a mega episode. The clicker's right there. So, 40-foot copper range DES. I actually don't need to spawn them. What I need to do is I need to go over here, and I need to go into this here. And I need to say, add a new consist, and it is going to be one Chevy Silverado, or, you know, S10, followed by, oh, and I can set it to be backwards, huh? Reversed. Actually, are the other ones reversed? Okay. Yeah. Okay, that might have something to do with it. Alright. So, then I go down here, and then I add 40-foot... Oh, wait. Copper range. Version 2 DES. And then I add 4 of those. And that's all I need to do. And then I need to grab the very first driver on the list. I also need to name you Beer Pallet. I think the P is not capitalized, but the B is capitalized. Oh, shoot, I'm looking at butter. Beer Pallet. Oh, it's the same deal. Same cars. We'll probably do butter at some point, too. Who knows? Beer on pallet. That is going to be your name. No, actually, it's beer, comma, pallet. Although I did get the capitalization correct, it looks like. Um, and I need to set the track marks before I do anything else. I need to remember how to do this. I was doing it pretty good before. I was doing it pretty quickly before. Okay. Everything here needs to be renamed, and everybody wants to rule the world. Oh, shoot. I can rename... Hold on a second. You know, those are all named correctly. These guys, I need to make sure that I name them in the correct way. Let's go beer palette like that, without the space, because if I add a space, it breaks. I think this should work. Every time I think of Everybody Wants to Rule the World, I remember that originally the name was going to be Everyone Wants to Go to War, which is rolls off the tongue much worse. Beer palette. Okay. This way I will always have a supply of cars for the beer factory. Which is called a brewery also. The beer factory. I work in the beer mines. I feel like that'd be a dream that Homer has in The Simpsons. He's working in the beer mines, and then the like tank explodes and runs him over, or like molasses disaster style. Beer palette. These all say exist. They all say exist and not exit. Exit is the word I was looking for, and I copied it time and time and time again and didn't notice that it said exist. Am I still exist? Okay, exit. Beer palette and lead. What about you? I can rename you too. Beer palette. So I went to the office the other day, and I had an interesting experience. And I'm saying this now because I keep fat fingering different buttons on this keyboard. For the first time, there was something unusual. So, new office, new setups. I am borrowing I'm borrowing a desk from somebody who isn't there right then because it's flexible workspaces, but they have a permanent workspace. They're just out of town, so I can use their desk. And this individual has a weird mouse and a weird keyboard. What I mean by that is the keyboard is split into two pieces, one for each hand, which I had never used before. I knew they existed, but I'd never used it before. And the mouse is one of those weirdly shaped ergonomic mice. Not the one with the ball on top. The one that is, like, lopsided. If anyone knows what I mean by that. And it's even funny, like, I had to get used to that, and I kept pressing the wrong buttons on the keyboard when I was trying to type stuff. It was kind of a mess. But also, the mouse was just a very strange shape, and I had to struggle with that. I really was trying to use my own mouse, but my own mouse was just broken. It has stopped working. It has gone in the garbage. Thankfully, I have, like, 3 or 4 of the exact same Logitech mouse. Okay, and then these guys, those are all done. What about down here? At one point I'm going to get to the coal one, and it's going to be smooth sailing. Okay. Nope. No shortcuts for me. Okay. STL. Beer. Pallet. Portal. Signal. I don't really like the naming nomenclature on these, but I'm not stressing about it. On the signals of all things. NSTL. Beer. Pallet. And so your whole deal is you're going to produce beer, comma, pallet. The size of this is going to be 4 cars worth, which is to say 4 times 34 is something. I need to put this into the calculator. 4 times 34 is 136. So the size of this is going to be 136. The weigh bill for this is going to be 100%. I think that's what I set the other ones to. Again, it does not seem to make any difference whatsoever. Why are there multiple barleys in here? And why are there... Oh, wait, no, that's not how that works. That's just the commodities that are in there. Products. Beer pallet. Items. And then 136. Limited 256 units, apparently. It's going to start with 0. The speedometer starts at 0 and goes all the way around to 200 mph. Hello, my love.
Dinner's ready.
That's good. I like it when dinner's ready.
Can I have a sip of your soda?
Absolutely. Thank you for making dinner. So 4 carloads per day at 34 units per... Oh, hold on, I'm using the wrong table. At 34 units per carload, if I produce 2... No. If I produce 4... No. If I produce... how many are being made in an hour? 136. What? How about 6? No. How about 8? How about 10 is not going to work. 12. What are the factors of 136? Factors of 136. 1, 2, 4, 8, 17, 34, 6. Oh, wait. I can just do 34. I'm stupid. Beer pallet. 34. Oh, shoot. Stupid. Oh, man. I'm all over the place. It's going to take me an hour to do this, and I'm going to end early because I'm hungry anyway. If I make 34... if we have 4 productions, the time for production is 900. And that will make 4 carloads in 1 hour. Yippee. Okay, so... And now this should show me beer. No reachable source of beer pallet. Oh no, what are we going to do? Wait. Oh no. Are you going to keep trying to put beer into this industry? You can't, number 1. And number 2, why would you? Are the rest of these doing that? No. Alright, no, I just broke this one because I put it in the wrong queue. Oh, never mind, it's fixed. Nailed it. If K&L locks in according to their wheel arrangement page. Alright, like, here's the thing. I know these can work. Oh, right, we're not done yet. Portal time. You are going to navigate to track mark list. Hello, my love. Ooh, piece of pork. Thank you. Ooh, it's hot.
Are you hungry? You want to eat?
A little bit, but I don't want to eat on camera.
Well, take a break to eat, but you're doing that right now.
That doesn't mean I'm liking it. I'm liking the food, though. Navigate to first available track mark. Wait for 5 seconds. Okay. No, you do not have to wait for me. We do have an episode of Star Trek, though. Um, okay. That's that in, and now we have to do the... I was clicking on the wrong one, wasn't I? No, I wasn't. How would I be clicking on the wrong one? We wouldn't have seen our Valiant engineer. Oh, never mind. I got confused by what that meant for some reason. Edit session. Schedule at track mark. Again, this guy was acting up. And I don't know why. Uh, add new trackside entity. Let's do beer palette 3. We'll do that one first. In both directions, all along the session, and it's just going to be to delete train. Yeah, my username is Trainman. Trainman Leet, yes. I used to do 1337 as a backup for when I couldn't get Trainman 96. Okay, add track mark. Beer palette 2. So beer palette 2 is wait 5 seconds, uncouple from 0, drive to terminate, wait 5 seconds, delete train. Wait for 5 seconds. Uncouple or decouple number 1, I guess number 1. And then because I got rid of the uncouples command because it was taking up too much space. And then navigate to track mark. Where are you? Beer palette terminate. Wait for 5 seconds just so it stops moving, and then delete train. Okay. Add new trackside entity. Select track mark. And Venkman has come in here to beg for the piece of pork that I'm holding. Alright. So this is 9 commands. Go to the industry, load, go back to the track mark that you came from. So, navigate to industry, beer, comma, palette, platform, multiple pickup, drop off. Yep. Load. Wait for 5 seconds. Which I could use the halt train command, but that takes up another spot in this list. Oh, wait. It's right there. Back to ammonia 1. And then you might be here at the end of the stream because Gloria just made some outstanding food and I really want to go eat it. I'm spiritually fat. I've said this many times. And then decouple from 1. Also, you know that it's getting towards the end when I'm working on the most boring stuff. Ammonia terminate. Wait for 5 seconds. Delete train. Wait, what? Oh yeah. Ammonia terminate. Ammonia nerve. Navigate to track mark. Ammonia terminate. Wait for 5 seconds. And then delete train. That should leave that behind. In both directions all along the session. Enter driver commands to schedule when the train is at trackside. Okay, and that should be one more of those done. And I really want to test it. But I can't get it to work. It'd take an hour for it to spit a train out. So we did one of those. Whoop-de-doo. Kind of burned my mouth on that pork, but it was very delicious. The industry stuff is very boring, and if I find more time to do it, I'm going to do it on like Discord streams instead of on this. But for the sake of example, let's go back to the beginning and let's talk about dummy commodities. Oh, wait. Oops. We got to go in here for that. And also we have to move this out of the way. Goodbye. So, right now, what happens in our lumber mill, and this is it's going to be worse than if we had made it from scratch. But what happens in our lumber mill is this thing has a process, and this thing, like this and this, do not. But they both need processes, or else Living Railroad will not recognize them, apparently. So number one is we're going to have to change... Why is there no reachable source of logs? We're going to have to change this. Multiple pick off the log drop. So, we're going to have to get rid of these two queues. We're going to have to remove you. We're going to have to remove you. And we're going to set this to whatever the default is. It doesn't actually matter. It's 100. Oh, I guess I can't do that. Whatever, not important. And then we're going to go to processes, and that's all gone. And then we're going to set Q2 to be... Oops, nope. Dummy. Dummy product. It's called dummy product. I don't know why it's a pacifier, but it is what it is. So, the size of dummy product... You know what? No, because we have to use... I love dummy product, but we're already running into the problem where... Wait a second. We should see if this works. We should see if this works. Products. Dummy product. In items. I want to see if it'll distribute the dummy products. So if we set the Q to 2... and then we set that to, and we set the waybill to 0. Because I don't want them doing this. We set this to 2. If we do, so processes every 2160, it makes 2160. It makes 2 items. Okay. Consumes 7 items, creates 2 items. And I'm just sort of going off the math that I previously did. No dummy product available for pickup. That's fine by me. So it's going to create 2 dummy products. And then... Where did I put the industry link? It's around here. It's a small yellow box. There it is. Oh, and that's not going to work until we get these other 2 set up. So, you down here, look alive, freight to move, money to make. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to do dummy product. Now, this is not a foolproof way to do this, and honestly, I don't think this is going to work super well, but I'm kind of curious, proof of concept, if it can work. Product items. And then we're going to set the waybill to 0 because it's a dummy product. Oh, and this thing is full of wood chips already. Whatever, I'm just going to leave it like that. Actually, no, I'm going to cut it in half. No, I need to double the size of the queue is what I need to do. Which is to say, our wood chips come in carloads of 65,750 according to my notes. And if I punch that into my calculator, 65,750, we are currently making 8 carloads of wood chips over the span of 24 hours, 526,000. And I need this to be 16 carloads worth, which is 1,052,000. So 1,052,000. And that doesn't make it happy, but it's half full now. Now I need to go to processes. I need to say we're going to take dummy product, we're going to consume one item, and we are going to produce an amount of wood chips every 2160, which is to say the same exact time as when that happens. And I think I should set the dummy product to be available to begin with. What I'm curious about is why it isn't immediately telling me that no vehicles are available to carry dummy product. I really, really hope that that remains true and it doesn't find a vehicle that can pick it up. That would not be good. So loading a vehicle, processes. So if it's producing every 2160 seconds, go back into the thing, and I'll share my whole screen now. You all deserve to see it. Time for production, 2160. Oh, sorry. Productions per day is 40. 2160. And 2160. Uh-oh. What? How is this possible? Oh, wait, because of that. Okay, so 2160 means 13150 at a time, which is however much of a carload. And it's going to go off every few hours. So now, this will consume 7 logs. It'll create 2 dummy product, right? Those dummy products will hopefully get split between these 2 industries. Because we're going to add a queue to this one, which is dummy product. It also means that if one of these inventories is full, the industry still will be able to produce just at half speed. I'm not sure if I like that. I'm not sure if I like that at all. So we may end up going and downloading the letters instead and subbing them out for dummy product. But maybe it'll be okay. 0. I want it to start with a dummy product. Oh, I've got to set that to items first. Start with a dummy product. 1 items. The size of this has to go up to 80. And the waybill has got to get set to 50%. That's right. Let me set the waybill to 50% on this one as well, because I have forgotten to do that. Waybill, 50%. Okay, next up. Tracks is the same, load lumber into vehicle. Processes, we're going to take dummy product and we're going to turn it into lumber. Oh, shoot, I need to set start enabled on this or it's never going to work. Start enabled, true. Our duration is going to be same as the last time, which is 2160. And this is going to produce how much lumber? Carloads per day. I don't know how many. There are 2 units per carload. So like 20 carloads a day. And then it's going to produce 1 lumber each time. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay. So that should be fine then. Just every 2160 seconds, however long that is, in minutes, if somebody wants to do quick maths, this should consume 7 logs, produce 2 dummy commodity. The dummy commodity will be given to this one and this one, and then it'll be consumed and turned into thing. Now, I need to set up the industry link here. Dummy product 1, dummy product 1. And I'm going to have to test if this works. So why don't we test it? Who wants to drive trains around in this game where I don't do that? Something else I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to add these little... I'm going to need to add signs or trackside markers or something to show where the ends of industry tracks are. Because unless you're looking at the map in Surveyor, it's not at all obvious. Okay. Oh, and you were currently trying to do that. Okay, so let's save really quick. Save over this. Ooga booga, hello Mew. We also, it was last like 3 o'clock, so let's set that and then go into driver. It's also going to be kind of fun when I go and clear out all of my track marks and redo them. That's going to be a great experience. Edit environment. So it was like 1350 something, which is right around 12, 13, 14. Oh no, sorry. It was 15 something. It was 3 in the afternoon. Right? That's 3 in the afternoon. Why is it dark by 6 again? $41.71. $41.71. I thought I had fixed this. Why is it dark by 6? Oh. Oh no, it is these, isn't it? Is it? No, it's not. I really thought I had it figured out. Why is it dark at 6 o'clock? Again. I don't think you care about your lat long anymore. What's going on? I swear to God I had fixed this. It should not be dark by 6. In June. What gives? This is almost the longest day of the year. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I really did think I fixed it earlier. Either way, it was like 3 o'clock. 3:30, whatever. Drive session. So, let me unpause, and let me just sort of let things run its course. You were trying and failing to pick up lumber, which now you really won't be able to do. And you failed to do because this boxcar, importantly, does not have lumber in it. If it did, I'd be fairly impressed. Hey, how did you pick up logs last time in these? I swear I watched it pick up logs in these boxcars, which does not bode well for the dummy commodity situation. Uh-oh. Oh, somebody's stuck. Oh. What the hell are you doing? Oh, right, you are stuck because you can't get out of here. Because there's a trolley in the way and you don't know how to get out of here. What are you trying to do? Oh, general goods from here to there. Legs from here to homeworld. I'm not, I can't help you. Nope, something just happened. Are you going back down the hill because you ran all the way up the mountain for no reason? The couple command was acting very strange. It was working fine for the AI, just not for me. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to pick up general goods from 40-foot boxcar to all of legitimate business company? Okay, well, I think that had something in the way, so that might be a little tricky. Now, I can't see the goings on of this because the building is in the way. If I could, let's see, commodity overlays. Always visible. Okay, well, it looks like that did, well, it at least consumed those to, no, it didn't. Why does it only have 40 now? Why does it still only have 40? It should have more than that. Or did it consume it and then we're just sort of waiting on it? How long is 2160 seconds? 36 minutes? I can't wait half an hour for this. To see if it works. Oh, well, maybe I'll just run some logs anyway. Let's see. Do I have some log cars? I do down there. This is going to need to be fixed because that will not work at all. 36 minutes in real time and game time. It's the same. But I believe it'll always be real time. Did I put the mogul back in here? Where did I leave my mogul? Oh, right. It's running up the mountain at ludicrous speed. Ah, I forgot about that. Because I wanted it to run around the train, and then I... Yeah. Alright. Well, alright. We have... Where did I leave my 10-wheeler? Oh, right! Right! I had this thing go out on the main to pick up some empty hoppers from here, and I was switching this. I just want to run some logs, guys. I just want to run some logs. Back it up a little bit more. Oh, that switch was already thrown. Alright, put it back, I always wonder why specifically. Oh, I didn't put a thing on the entrance into here. Specifically 79 miles an hour. That's just what the invisible speedboard says. I mean, in real life, there's a reason for it. It's because if you go more than 80, you need cab signals, I believe, per regulations. But I'm not worried about that. That just is the way it is around here. All right, coupling mode. Back it up. I figure I might as well load up these industries. I have known these cars to be able to load logs before, which is a little strange. The question is, can anything load dummy commodity? Um, because I really am going to have to find something that cannot be loaded into anything at all. And I kind of wish dummy commodity was maybe coded as like a liquid or something. I don't know the different classes of commodity. So I think I will leave that car there. And maybe I'll bring all four of these cars back, plus a string of hoppers. Because I don't really have any down there. Right, so this should load up into the thing. And now we should be good on that for a while. The thing I need to keep an eye on is these guys. I have the thing set up so that it tells me if there's a derailment. I feel like I must have screwed up the industry settings. I feel like I must have. Can I back out of here? Yeah, I have enough room to do what I want to do. Now, the thing is, I need to put these together. I need to put the caboose on the other end of the train. And I need to grab a cut of cars out of there. And I don't really want to drill onto the main line, but I might have to with the amount of room that I have, which is not that much. Well, actually, no. I guess I will have more room once... I will have more room once I drill out of... once I drill cars out of one of those tracks. Once I pull cars out, and then I'll have more room. Okay. So, let's do that. And we're going to tuck the caboose in here so that we can get it on the back end in a minute. But before I try to do that, I want to grab the cut of cars that I wanted and bring them back, or and tie them onto these to these cars here. Put them on the backside. This should be yard speed, which would be like 15 tops. So I'm trying not to go crazy. And there's Pan Am. This is the first time I've done work here in Pan Am, which is neat and fun, because I don't get to experience it that much. 36 minutes. I will be able to see in 36 minutes. Which will be by 10 o'clock, I hope. Well, actually, probably not. what the situation is there. If our industry has budged at all. And it's probably going to be an hour until we get more pickup trucks, but I would kind of like to know if that happens too. There. And then, yeah, we have enough space down here to use that as a run stuff around to the other side. And this is definitely overkill for what I want to do, but there's no reason why I shouldn't grab all these cars when I'm not really using them for anything else. As a matter of fact, let's look at industries. Producer industries. Pan Am, Ballard Mills, no, Grain HP. Commodity balance, Grain HP. We produce 21 things of it and we don't consume it anywhere, so kind of a fail on my part, maybe. I'm gonna pull these around here. At track speed, Louise is stuck. Who is Louise? Oh, Louise is you. Let's jump back to Louise and see exactly what's going on. Let me guess, you can't do it because there's another car in the way, because I spotted cars at all the industries way back when. Yup. You don't know that you can move a car out of the way to shunt an industry. Also, are you missing something? You know, the other locomotive that you're supposed to have. Please tell me it's there. And you didn't... Alright, cool. Alright, well, you weren't able to do that. That's okay. You guys can't do anything. The AI, it's just not there yet. The best part about... The best part about Living Rare, and possibly the only good part right now, is the fact that it just helps you figure out where stuff is. Or, you know, your connection there. Yes, this is a 10-wheeler. Alright, let's throw that one, throw that one. So I'm gonna have to pull the cars out of those industries before they can make it work. I also kind of would like to know what you're up to. Oh, you're here. That's interesting. Block is occupied by what? That's a long block. Wait, what am I looking at? Block is occupied. Is it you? Is it the freight cars? Block is occupied by the freight cars? You're gonna run through here? Go somewhere else. Go a different way. This is why we need better commands. How about I hold on. Before you wreck. How close are you to coupling? Oh, you've figured something out. Although I swear to God, if it's that you're beelining up the other direction, I'm gonna lose it. I don't know if my throwing that switch helped it. I kind of hope it didn't. I kind of hope that didn't help, and it would have figured it out on its own, but I cannot rule anything out. I could grab that car while I'm working from this end. Were you talking about an industry with steam pipes everywhere? Was that a power plant? It was. Oh shoot. Oops. Rough handling. No kidding. It was an industrial park with a power plant. God damn it! I didn't want to pick up the grain. I should have seen that coming. I should have seen that coming. Well, now I've got 2 cars of grain HP that I'm gonna have to sort out later. Yeah, it was Kodak Industrial Park at a power plant. I forget, it's not Railroader. There is actually a penalty to just like throwing cars around random places. Uh, oops, wrong button. 2 is the button I'm looking for. You know what's really incredible? You know what is really incredible is I have been using S instead of 2 to refocus my camera. And obviously that's not what it does. Um, so that's a problem. Wait, what are you doing? Cooper Lumber. I need to be checking on what these guys are doing because uh-oh, where the hell are you? Where is Cooper Lumber? Oh, it's in Mason Valley. What are you? Do you have cars with you? You must if you're going to an industry. It picked up some. Oh! It actually managed to get a boxcar full of lumber from someplace. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Can I tell it to stop doing what it's doing? Cancel task. Uh, I don't know what you're doing. I don't care right now. And Louise is still stuck. And so are you. What are we doing? We're going this way. Stop. Oh, did I stopped prematurely. Keep going. Were you going to put an industrial park in a Trainz layout? I've got plenty of those, but we were thinking about a specific kind. I don't actually remember what started it, but oh, it was the use for bromine. Um, and bromine is used in the creation of film. And so we started talking about the Kodak Industrial Park in Rochester. 2026 mentioned that, and that led me down an amazing rabbit hole where I learned all about it. I could do this without getting on the main line, but honestly, I'm not sure I care. Please don't fill a third car. Um, did it? Okay, no. Yeah, so I don't care. I'm gonna use the main line to shunt. It'll be fine. How's everything going? You are doing something. Also, but the obsession with putting lumber in boxcars, not helpful. I mean, they're fine actually for lumber. I mean, that's a historical thing, but still. I got a million fly cars. I don't know if I have seen a bromine tank car IRL. I may have. It's entirely possible that I've seen one and, don't know that I saw a bromine tank car. I've seen plenty of tank cars. I've seen plenty of, trains. Uh, some of you may remember the silly stories of me hanging out inside the Y at Selkirk Yard. Not my finest moments, uh, but some of my best trespassing. Um, I've seen one in Trainz. I have one here in Trainz, of course. We talked about that earlier. But I can't tell you if I've seen one in real life. I think the odds are that I have. Okay. With this in mind, now that I've got this hooked up, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to switch you to AI mode and tell you to navigate to track mark, uh, Gilson Eastern, Olive, Butler Yard, arrival track north. I have no way of turning the locomotive around here, so it's going to be what it is. You're drawing me some fireless logos? I mean, I don't... You're welcome to. You're welcome to. Alright, you've actually figured it out after all these years. You've managed to get over to the thing I wanted you to get over to. But the thing is, I don't remember why I asked you to do that in the first place. That was like a week ago. Actually, it was a couple of days, but still. I have to pull cars out of place. I have to set this up to be correct. Let's see. This says 277 logs, which makes it seem like it's consumed some. This has 40 lumber. This has that. So I don't actually know if it's done anything. I don't think it has, because it has not been 36 minutes. Let's check on over here. Nothing has happened over here. Not yet, anyway. Louise is stuck. What would the company name be on the locos? Oh, damn. I even had a company idea kicking around. Oh, I period FONE. Oh, no, sorry. No, that wasn't going to be that. That was going to be something else. I have to wait until you give up, and then I can come in here and pull these cars out. Honest to goodness. The fact that it is trying to deliver those is kind of admirable, though. Wait a sec. Where the hell are you going? I wanted you to couple it at Butler Yard 5, which would be here. Why are you doing this? Where are you going? And why do you still have that switch locked? See, I'm worried about this because I don't think it's doing anything remotely rational. I think it's going to... Oh no, it's slowing down. Oh, because the switch is lined against it, that's why. Because last time I asked it to couple, it just ran all the way up the hill. Like, all the way up the hill. Alright, let's stop that. Let's actually say... Let's try something else. Let's try a different couple at track mark. GEOL Yard South 1. Where the hell are you going? You're slowing down, though. Oh, shoot, no, I didn't want you to go to yard south. I wanted you to go to yard north. That said, that would have been correct. Um, let's see, GEOL, follow yard north 1. Because I want to run another train of things. Hopefully you can figure that out, and hopefully it was just the previous iteration of the command acting funky because it was acting pretty funky before. There's also, I swear to God, something that goes on with with this industrial park. Like, the strangest stuff happens. Are you still stuck? You are. You're gonna wait for 1 minute, and if you can't do it, you're gonna try to do something else. In that 1 minute, I need to get. I'm gonna need to get in here and pull these cars out. Although, in truth, what I could and maybe should do is just go into Surveyor Classic and move these cars out of the way. I mean, he's really trying. He's really trying. And again, due diligence, I will reset all rules. And then I will go back into drive session. And I actually really do like that, because it saves me a lot of headache. So now you can bring these 2 carloads of goods in there, and that's going to be that. I really hope you can figure out what you're doing. I really hope. Fingers crossed. I don't even know where that track mark is, and I don't really have a way of knowing where that track mark is. I'm going to have to mark stuff once again. So, how is everyone else doing? You're on your way back. You're working. You're on your way back. You're still stuck. And maybe it's fine that you are, because the only thing that you were ever supposed to do is switch monkey bananas. I'm just gonna set you to player controlled, because you can't get out, not until I fix you. Oh my God, it's gonna work. Maybe resetting all the rules actually did help. What cosmetics are needed for the fireless locomotive? I mean, bare minimum, they're fireless engines. Train Boy 1's content? Oh, I'm quite familiar. I have a lot of his stuff already. Thank you for the heads up, though. One-off 3-hour stream, yeah. We'll do something. I mean, Benson's bromine plant is just fine. However, I think because it would be sort of a larger, because it would be a larger thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do 8. Because it would be part of a larger complex. I think that the railroad would probably not letter something for that specific industry. It would be more of a something industrial railroad. Maybe just call it Raven Bridge Industrial Railroad for now. Mostly because I think Raven Bridge is a really cool name and I'm proud of it. I don't actually know where the A track is. I think it might be A, B, C, and then something else. Oh shoot, I am running over a switch that is lined against me. If you don't blink, everything will be fine. A boxcar that smokes ham. Yeah, well, it's, you know, it's an Albany expression. So what should the abbreviation be? Uh, RBIR, maybe? Ravenbridge Industrial Railroad? RBIRR? Or RIR? Whichever one you think looks best on the side of a locomotive. And I mean, I'm not going to be married to it, but if you want to, if you want to make something, I'm not going to stop you, certainly. It is now 10 o'clock. Has this consumed any logs? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. No. It has consumed a binky, which is interesting. Uh, Ravenbridge Industrial Railroad. Ravenbridge, one word. Epic screenshot of the Bromine Express. You know, if we have enough, if we end up having enough different screenshots and things, which we should have like an unlimited supply because everyone has access to this route. Maybe I'll just do a different thumbnail every single week, you know? Or I'll do a thumbnail until I get to the next one, right? Until I get another one, and then I'll just do that one. Oh, you know what I should show? We should show track marks. Oh, except I don't get to see what they're called? Thanks. Dabu. Now why are you stuck? You already did what you need to do. What do you mean you're stuck? Just leave. Just go. Get out of here. Oh, what are you doing? I just noticed this diesel slinking around with the boxcar, probably going to pick up lumber, right? Are you picking it up at the right location? Lumber mill pickup. Thank God. I didn't think it was possible. After all of this, I finally have cracked the code and figured out what makes these guys tick, at least to the point where they can pick up a commodity from the industry that they are supposed to pick up that commodity at. Redding, you've been rescanning Tolbrand stuff? If whatever you have is allowed to go on the download station, please do it. Obviously check with the owners of stuff, but I'll pay where Kit bashes. Damn. I'm like 1 degree of Kevin Bacon removed from Daniel Gallery, Trainboy01. So maybe I could ask for permission to reskin those two. You know? Alright, we're gonna need a caboose to get out of here. I also left a caboose in the middle of this, didn't I? Somewhere? Slow down. Donk. Okay. Okay, so I'm really just focused on getting more logs for this guy to just totally fill it up and not worry about it for a while. But I do this a lot. The thumbnail is missing a large red circle and arrow to point to an object of relative significance to draw in potential viewers of all shapes and sizes. I mean, it's true. I am welcoming of anyone of any shape, any size. All of the above. Uh, Also, is it fine if I choose like different fonts for reskins? Why not? Where the hell are you going with that boxcar? Oh, for the engines. Yeah, why not? Uh, I mean, I didn't have any. I never had anything particular in mind for. Hey, where is that train? No, seriously, where is it? Uh oh. Uh oh. Was that us? Wait, no, that was not us. You know who that was? Oh, I know. Never mind. I was wrong. Wait, who the heck is? Who passed a signal of danger? Not you. You're not stopped. You? Yeah, probably you. Where are you? Oh, you're in Mason's Landing. How'd you pass a signal of danger? Oh. Oh. You know what? At least you're still a ways away, and I don't have to worry about you. I did like the Zion and Skyline, the 286. Hey, has it been 30 minutes yet? Oh! Yes! 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 Victory! It worked! It worked! Okay. Okay. Gilson Eastern once upon a like uh the lore that's been created thus far, right? Gilson Eastern has been in the early days kind of New Haven-esque. Uh well, no, sorry, I take that back. In the early days, it was a serif font, I believe. It would have said Gilson Eastern. In the later days, it would have been a sans serif font, um, which is, sort of interesting and unusual enough on its own. I feel like I am driving into a real cluster over here. Because you're trying to do stuff, you're trying to do stuff, and here I am also trying to do stuff. I just don't want to be running caboose first down the branch line. Um, I think I'll stop shy of Olive Yard entrance south and just sort of wait for this traffic to clear. Do all the locomotive works that exist IRL exist in your Trainz universe? Honestly, probably none of them. Um, and I don't even know what the analogs would be. So, in the lore documentation, I'm still sharing my screen, huh? Yes. In the lore documentation, um, I think the only one where we really talk about it is the Everett Lake Mining and Navigation Company. Um, their first railroad, or their first locomotive, would have been going to. I think the Akron Locomotive Works was a big one. Um, see, I don't. I guess I didn't notice the. I didn't note the first source of the locomotive. Yeah, Akron Locomotive Works. They maybe feel like Alco to me or Schenectady. Um, and then yeah, Akron Locomotive Works. Well, also maybe they're closer to Lima because they did Camelbacks. Um, and then I believe I mentioned in the Mason Valley Railroad another one which was based in Jefferson. Uh, Jefferson Steam Power Company would have been a small locomotive builder, maybe akin to like Hinckley, or something of that nature. I think those are the only two that I've written about. Can Baldwin Locomotive Works be replaced with Ivan Locomotive Works? Is there a way I can access that dock? Yes. In the Tolbrin Peninsula thread, there is a pinned link to a Google Drive folder that has all that. Who is Baldwin then? That's a good question. I don't know yet. If I have a Baldwin analog, they don't exist yet in this world. They're also and also I really wish Mossy Mug was here because I'm realizing, and we talked about doing like a sort of French analog thing, or like a like an enclave of a specific culture within one of the towns or cities in um, in the peninsula. And honestly, I think I am going to lean into like some combination of French and New England Native American sort of amalgam, because the two strangest town names that we have on the map thus far are Wombeck, which is the southernmost town on the map, right on the where I would put a country border, an international border, if I were to put one, um, and it looks like I will, and the largest city immediately to the south, which is called New DMAG. And of course, that's a joke because um, I wanted to name uh, a thing the New DMAG Centerfold, a sports team. Um, and I was like, okay, well, how would this fly in real life? And the answer is, it would if it's a play on an existing sort of weird joke. Nobody went up the branch line, right? Uh, so if we were to have New DMAG being NUDEMAG, um, or NUDEMAQUE, so it's close enough, right? Um, let's see, navigate to forest, olive branch, forestry logs, log pickup. Can you not? You're Charlie? Oh, shoot. Wait, what? Olive branch, forestry, logs. How come you can't? Why not? Navigate to. Oh, log pickup is what I'm looking for. If it's not multiple pickup drop off, it's not a real industry on this map. Um, so I'm just going to have this guy AI down. Oh, shoot, I'm stupid. I didn't mean to hit that button. And then load. I have to tell it to resume schedule, huh? Continue schedule. Okay. So we know that works. We're 13 minutes over time. I think we're over 3 hours now, too. Which, nailed it. And we have a whole bunch of trains doing a whole bunch of stuff. Some of them are controlled by Living Railroad in a way that may or may not work. You're stuck. What happened to you? Let me guess. You can't figure out how to get onto the main line because the inner... Oh my god. What are you doing? I was just gonna like wrap it up, right? I was just gonna say like, oh yeah, we're all set. We don't need to go any further here. I'm gonna assume that the thing that's in the way is the other train coming the other way because they only like that number one track or whatever that is. That would be, I think that'd be main two actually. Yeah, I don't know why they only use main two. So I don't know. They'll have to figure something else out. Um, Jefferson does sound like a company that would build fireless locomotives. I don't disagree with that. You're going to need to either wait for that guy to come barreling on through right next to you, or or you're just going to have to find a different way around, because what happens if you have a, why are you still empty? What? Why and how are you still empty? Are you trying to go that way? No, because your thing is on unload. This boxcar can carry lumber. Just regular old lumber. So why didn't it load the lumber? It went to the right place. Why didn't it load the lumber? Very, very weird. With everything that's been going on, I don't know if I've seen a. Uh-oh, you're doing it again, huh? Oh wait, no, you're fine. With everything that's been going on, I don't know if I have seen an AI driver successfully do the thing. Also, I have to fix this industry. This is going to be a real. This. Hello, Zero Winter. The existence of this industry being the way that it is, I love. Who would like what locomotive works? Probably like Hinkley. One of these weird ones. Hinkley, Manchester. One of the smaller Alco works. It's supposed to be an oddball that makes a lot of small things. The existence of this industry is one of the things that makes me really want to fix the nicks, as it were. Um, to put. Oh, that's where these cars went. It makes me want to redo this whole industrial park, but the existence of all this clutter that I put here makes me want to not, because I don't want to touch it. I want to leave it exactly the way that it is, because I think it came out really nice. It's one of the nicest looking areas in this industrial park. Okay, but can you load lumber? Are you able to successfully load lumber into the train? If this doesn't work, I honestly have no idea what's going on. The other one was already kind of bugged out. I think maybe it thought it had already loaded lumber. But these guys, they have no excuse. They just got this. They just got this task. 17 and a half miles. Holy crap. Oh, right, because it's over there and thing. Uh, load the lumber into the boxcar. What are you doing? What? What is happening? I messed something up. I must have messed something up. There's no way I didn't. There's no way. Absolutely no way. Surveyor Classic. Come on, we're fixing this, and then I'm going to go eat the outstanding pork that Gloria made. And also the mashed potatoes, which I'm sure are also delicious. Move that the hell out of the way. I definitely screwed something up. Tracks. Lumber. Load it. Load into vehicle. Right? What is going on here? Are these guys incapable of picking up stuff from these multiple industries? They're certainly capable of unloading things into the multiple industries. Is the load command now broken? Have I effed with them so much that they're going on strike? I think all of these are very real possibilities, and we will find out which one is the real culprit in the future. These also have not produced a train yet. Whatever, it hasn't been an hour. All right, I'm gonna save where I'm gonna save where we were at. Um, and then I'm gonna go eat food because I at 40 pH give me strength. I love the Trainz AI. I love that it exists. I love that I love the Trainz AI. It's wonderful. I don't think it's an irredeemable piece of garbage. I don't think it is. It is very frustrating. I'm glad it exists. I know how difficult it can be to code something like this. So Godspeed N3V. Douglas, why would there be something, why would a fireless locomotive have a tender? What would go in the tender? More steam? Just add another, make the fireless locomotive bigger. What would go in the tender? Go ahead and write in the comments what you think would go in a fireless locomotive tender, and I will see you next week with any luck. I might see you sooner. This is the Admiral, signing off.